Paulo Brands, Clear to Close Brokers. In this video, we're going to talk about the effects of paying points. Now, before we begin, there's a few things to consider when paying points. Is number one, that the illustration today is not a standard reduction. And what I mean by that is, by paying 1 point, you're not going to get 3/8 of a reduction of interest rate every single day. That changes on a daily basis. It changes in the market. Some days you can get more, some days are less. So it's really important that you understand we're just talking about the concept of paying points and how that could save you money in this market. So the time to make this decision is once you get in a contract. You can see where the rates are at. You can you can look at a loan illustration just like this, showing you today's rates. And from there, having an understanding of how points can affect interest rate and monthly payment, you can make a great decision for yourself and your family at that time. But for now, let's just talk about what it looks like and what it means to pay a point. So 1 point is roughly 1%, not roughly, 1 point is 1% of the loan amount. So for example, here in this loan illustration, which I'm going to walk you through, the loan amount is $440,000. So 1 point is going to be $4,400. Now keep in mind, it's usually not just a straight 1 point. Usually it's a little bit higher than a point. Usually it's a little bit less than a point. But for illustration purposes only, I'm just going to assume today it's 1 point. So let me walk you through this loan illustration here. So if you were to get in a contract today at no points with this loan illustration, assuming a rate of 5.125, that would give you a total principal and interest payment only of $2,395.74. Your total cash to close. Remember, we're not taking into consideration any fees, property taxes for this loan illustration, because I really wanted to be really clear on what the costs are for the point, how it affects you from a monthly payment standpoint. And if we start adding fees there, it gets a little bit more complicated. So we're just focusing on payment and the cost of the point here. So the total cash to close here is going to be $110,000, which just represents your down payment. Now, if you paid 1 point today, your rate would go from a 5 1/8 to a 4.75. That's going to drop your payment by about $100.49, all the way down to $2,295.25. But I also want you to notice your cash to close goes up from $110 to $114,400. So that's $4,400. So essentially, you're going to pay that money up front, $4,400, in addition to your closing costs, to save $100 per month. So does it make sense? Well, I don't know. There's a few steps or a few questions that you have to ask yourself. Like number one, do you have the available funds? Because remember, if you're a first-time home buyer, when you close on your home, you're going to be responsible for water heaters, for any repairs, maintenance, or anything like that. So you want to always ensure that you have a cash reserve in the event that you have some unexpected expenses. So that's number one. Number two, does it make sense? How long is it going to take you to recoup the cost of that point? Because essentially, remember this, the banks want you, they know that most people are going to refinance every 7 years. So the more interest you pay them up front, and the likelihood that you're going to move or refinance, they're going to make more money. So it's really important to be very clear on your goals, because I want to make sure that you're going to have the time to recoup not only that cost of that point, but also to save money on the other side of it. All right, let's take a look at 2 points. So by paying 2 points, which is in this scenario going to be $8,800, your rate's going to go to a 5 1/8, all the way down to 4 1/2. It's going to save you, $166 per month. So it's that same concept here. So now we're paying 2 points. Your cash close goes up $8,800. Now you're saving $166. Now, one thing you will notice, the more points you pay, you get diminishing returns, which means you don't get that much more, bang for your dollar. So I encourage you, though, this is a really cool strategy if you watch video 2, where I talk about, instead of having a price reduction, you actually have the seller pay for these points. And that's really eye-opening. That's going to show you how you can today, in today's market, can get a lower interest rate and a lower overall house payment by having the seller pay points versus lowering the purchase price. All right, hope this helps. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.